Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video today, as the title suggests, we're going to get into one of the specific subcategories with respect to the recently promulgated program called the 4-year SMART Visa. As documented in other videos on this channel, the 4-year SMART Visa was only recently created as of the time of this filming, and basically we're just now figuring out how it's going to be implemented, the specifics regarding subcategories, etc. So the first thing to keep in mind is there is this overarching notion of a SMART Visa category. They can be issued with a validity up to 4 years, although that is not a hard and fast rule. It will depend based on circumstances how these are going to be issued, but the SMART Visa program is the way to look at it. It's a program with specific subcategories in it, beneath the overarching program, if you will. Sort of variations on a theme, if you will. This category, as the title suggests, is the SMART T Visa. And I'm quoting directly from a brochure put out by the Board of Investment, that's BOI here in Thailand. So SMART T category, and I'm quoting directly, highly skilled professionals in the fields of science and technology wishing to work in the targeted industries. And there are various targeted industries. I discuss them in another channel. I'll go into it a little bit here, but really this video is to just discuss criteria and the qualifications associated with the SMART Visa itself. So the first thing, minimum salary of no less than 200,000 baht or equivalent per month, exclusive of other benefits and welfares. Having an employment contract or service contract with an entity in Thailand with the remaining term of at least 1 year. Having expertise in science and technology relevant to the targeted industries and endorsed by a government agency. This seems to be one of the really important aspects of this, is this notion of endorsement. There's a whole endorsement process, which is part and parcel of the overriding SMART Visa process. I'm not going to get into it too in depth in this video, but we're working up a video and it's going to get pretty detailed with respect to how the overall process works. But endorsement is a major part of it, and that's an adjudicatory function that's going to be part of the process of getting one into the SMART category, except for government experts who work for a government agency. So if you're working for a government agency in one of these high-level science and industry capacities, it seems like there's going to be sort of an exemption from endorsement. For employers in Thailand must be certified. Again, there's an adjudicatory process associated with this kind of certification for being engaged in the targeted industries by relevant government agencies such as the National Innovation Agency, public organization, and the Digital Economy Promotion Agency. In case of employers being a government agency, the certification of being in the targeted industries shall be done by that agency. So again, in a sense, the government agencies can kind of exempt themselves, but it would seem that BOI is going to have a certification and endorsement process with not only with respect to the underlying corporate entity employing this SMART Visa carrier, a prospective SMART Visa carrier, but also going to go ahead and, it seems, need to endorse the underlying activity that SMART Visa holder is going to want to undertake. So there's a lot going on here with respect to processing. Notwithstanding, this is a long-term visa and it's called the SMART Visa. It isn't called the Easy Visa. Okay, for ease of processing or facilitation of processing, as long as someone has the resources, you might want to go check out the videos on this channel with respect to the Elite Visa, because the SMART Visa, they're really checking into what the individual in question is going to want to do, specifically what they currently do, what they want to do, what they're going to be doing in the kingdom, and what the company they're looking to work for does. So there's a lot of scrutiny associated with this. Now, with respect to privileges under the SMART T category, maximum, and again, maximum, it could be less, maximum 4-year visa, but not exceeding the remaining employment/service contract term. So those who are on a 1-year service contract, it may not behoove that individual or individuals to go ahead and go down the SMART Visa track because it may not pertain to them. Again, no work permit required for working in the endorsed companies or a Thai government agency. Now, this is an interesting concept because, again, they say endorsed companies or Thai government agency. So, again, that whole certification and endorsement process is going to need to be undertaken with respect to the individual concerned in this category. And for that reason, okay, there's no work permit associated with it, but there's still an adjudication pertaining to the work authorization and pertaining to the corporate activity. So while there's no permit per se, that doesn't mean that the whole process that was once dealt with for work authorization is gone. No, in fact, I would argue that at least in the opening stages, while they're getting this thing up and going, the scrutiny is probably going to be higher in one of these categories. Prior to any job changes or additions of jobs, an official approval must be obtained. Again, this is specific to this notion of endorsement and certification. There's a lot of oversight with respect to these visas. The Thai government and the immigration apparatus does not they don't give out even shorter term visas willy-nilly. They're definitely not going to give out a 4-year visa just on a whim. So they want to know exactly what's going on and why this individual needs to be granted this type of visa. 90-day reporting to the immigration extended to 1 year. That's a substantial benefit. Many people find it very annoying to have to go check in every 90 days at immigration, and turning that into a 1-year situation could be very beneficial. Excuse me. No reentry permits required. As explained in many other videos on this channel, reentry permits are necessary for most standard non-immigrant visas in order to keep the visa quote-unquote alive when leaving the kingdom, so that it stays alive while gone, so that one can come back and sort of re-uptake their status they had before. Finally, spouses and children granted the right to stay and work in Thailand with no work permit required. Children wishing to work must be at least 18 years of age. The jobs must not be on the prohibited list of occupations and professions for foreigners. Again, a substantial benefit, but yet again, and not to sort of sound like a broken record, there's an endorsement and certification process associated with this type of visa. I'm going to be doing a whole nother video relatively soon because I'm just simply learning how this process is working with respect to the overall process. But the thing to take away from this video is, yes, these are substantial benefits, but they're not going to be granted without a high level of scrutiny and without at least one adjudicatory process with respect to endorsement, and I suspect probably 2 adjudicatory processes with respect to both endorsement and certification.